But he got a flag down.
Oofside.
Everyone but the center. Offense.
Welcome to Refsides, presented by Ed Hockley. I'm your host, Cleet Blakeman. Who are you people?
I am Jerome Boger.
I am Jeff Triplett.
That was a pretty accurate impression of Jerome Boger, not gonna lie.
Just kind of have to like put a vague South Park accent on.
Yeah. So week 7 was interesting. I want to before we get into why we're named after refs this week, I just want to talk about just how abysmal of a week in pick'ems we had. So Dewey was the only one who got a lock right, which was the Seahawks. I lost my Niners luck. Steven lost his Bills luck. Steven went 4-10. I went 3-11 for the second worst week in Oofsides Pick They Them's history. Second to only Noah's 3-12 record from week 9 of 2021. That was bad. That was really bad. At one point, I got 7 games in a row wrong.
I did the best out of everybody, but I'm still like 10 games behind all of you on the season.
It's because you keep picking 500. And so, like,
That's
your
like my
average
ceiling.
is just very slowly going up. Like, you've basically flatlined now, but it doesn't matter because Steven and I are dropping precipitously.
I am the Jeff Fisher of Pick They Thems.
I was thinking about this too because I was like, we need like a way to post the pick'em standings every week for this. And then I was like, oh wait, I can make us an Oofsides Blue Sky page because I've got 3 invite codes. So, or Bloofskides as we can call it.
Shut up.
Yeah, at one point I was batting almost 700, and now I'm at 540. Closing in at a very rapid pace on 500 on the season.
Reddit, run from it. 500 picking arrives all the same.
Yeah, and on the trend line for like the week by week pick percentage, mine goes basically straight down, which means in week 11 I'm gonna miss every single game.
It's like that. Remember that meme with the unemployment graph, and it was the GameCube theme, and then it just shot up.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah. It's like you're watching the like Bitcoin crash from a couple of years ago. I've been just been going straight up for like 3 years, and then all of a sudden it's crashing immediately. So, what's also been going precipitously downhill is the quality of reffing, because good God, what a terrible week of not only of just football in general. I mean, there were some pretty good games in there, but a lot of bad play, and a lot of worse reffing.
There was
and we'll get into
horrible reffing in this week.
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. But first, we got to start with just the bad football, which is the Saints offense, because the Jaguars beat the Saints 30-24 on Thursday, and oh boy,
this should not have been this close.
Yeah, the Saints offense is so bad. It's like what I was mentioning a couple weeks ago, how Pete Carmichael just like didn't want to be their offensive coordinator. He's like, please don't make me coach football. And then it just showed, because they were getting booed in the second half, like just on like a punt. And then as soon as they went to no huddle, they immediately started going down the field and scoring. And it was like, I wonder.
Well, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I've seen this before.
I don't know if I've seen a worse looking 300-yard game before.
Yeah.
Like Derek Carr threw for 300 yards. He threw or attempted 55 passes. But like you couldn't muster more out of it than that?
Dude, they just like they don't finish drives. It's the weirdest thing. I think it was the same thing last week too, where they had like 400 yards and scored like 17 points.
Yeah, they're getting into a rhythm with this.
Yeah. And it was obviously we're skipping a little bit, but the Jags built up a 24-6 lead at one point, and then the Saints mounted a furious comeback, helped by I believe it was a couple fumbles by the Jaguars. Saints capitalized on that. Jags had a pick 6 at one point. That was bad. they score to go up 31-24, and just like last week, the Saints get down to like the 20-yard line, and then they're like, what if we just throw to the end zone 4 times in a row? And not a single one of them was caught. And Foster Moreau dropped a guaranteed touchdown.
That was brutal.
Yeah. Which, on one hand, it's brutal, but at the same time, you have Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Taysom Hill, Michael Thomas, and you're throwing to Foster Moreau in the end.
Taysom Hill in that list is a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know why they keep throwing Taysom Hill into games, thinking that this time he's going to do something that's going to make a huge difference.
I mean, he works when they hand the ball off, because it's like, I think I talked about this last year when we talked about the NFC title game, where the 49ers just left Brock Purdy out there to do nothing. And it was like, you would genuinely be better off if you're going to run the ball every time with McCaffrey under center, because then you have a man advantage. And like, everybody always wonders like, oh, why is Taysom Hill so unstoppable? And it's like, well, it's because you're running out of Wildcat. Because like in a normal running play, the quarterback hands the ball off and then they're out of the play. So when the quarterback is no longer dead weight, you have an extra blocker, which means your running plays are just going to work better. That's why mobile quarterbacks are so unstoppable. So like that, it works when they do that with Taysom Hill, but that's about it. Yeah, the Saints are just like a painful experience to watch. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and I believe Dennis Allen's career coaching record, I believe, is 18-42 now.
Oh, was he really that bad with the Raiders?
Oh yeah, he was really bad. Yeah, 18-42. That's a career winning percentage of 300. His 3 years with the Raiders was 4-12, 4-12, and then an 0-4 start before he got fired.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but that's not good.
No. There was another storyline to this game, which I didn't even know about this until they mentioned it around the NFL this week, which is that this was kind of a Doug Peterson revenge game, because the Saints, when they were looking for their next head coach after Sean Payton retired, they, Doug Peterson, a Super Bowl winning coach, was on the couch, and all they did was Zoom interviewed him and then hired Dennis Allen, who was already in the building. And like, Doug Peterson really badly wanted to coach the Saints, and they were like, nah, we're just going to stick with our own guy.
Well, I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, and he was like, all right, well, I'm going to show you what you missed out on then. Because the Jags are finally catching fire. Trevor Lawrence did get a little injured, but I think that was last week, but he looked fine. Yeah, and the Jags are 5-2, which is kind of weird. It kind of snuck up on me.
Yeah, they might just be kind of good now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they finished last year really strong, and I think didn't they get off to a slow start this year?
Yeah,
they beat the Colts.
Yeah, I think they were
the
1-2 or 2-3, or 1-2.
Yeah, they've won 4.
That's hard.
So yeah, I think the Jags are hitting their stride. So
it's fun having fun teams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and meanwhile the Saints are 3-4, but as we'll get into later, the NFC South is it's something.
It's doing things. I don't know if they're good things, but they're doing things.
What's worse, the AFC South or the NFC South?
I would say okay. See, that's tough because the AFC South has like one really good team and then 3 pretty bad teams. Actually, no, like a couple fun teams that aren't very good, and then just like a tire fire. That's the Titans. Meanwhile, the NFC South is just like 3 crippled dogs trying to fight each other, and none of them can get out of their own way.
But the thing is,
the Panthers, the Panthers are like, we're here also.
3 of the teams in the NFC South at least have history. The AFC South is the 3 of the newest teams. Like, yeah, fuck it, you go here now.
The Colts, and then 2 expansion teams, and a straggler from the AFL. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Wait.
should be the Houston Oilers and the Baltimore Colts in this division, but no.
Yeah. There's something funny about the Indianapolis Colts being in the South. When they're like further north than like teams in the North. Yeah.
You think that's bad? You should look at like the MLB divisions and the NFL divisions from the 90s.
I gotta look at the old AFC Central then.
Like the
Remember when
Falcons were in the NFC West and the Cardinals were in the NFC East.
the Toronto Maple Leafs were in the Western Conference for a while.
Oh, the NHL divisions are fucked.
Yeah.
There wasn't. Hang on.
There's a thing I was reading a while back where when the NFL was deciding its division lineups for pre-merger, obviously, they drew out of a hat to determine what teams were in the NFC Central. So like there was a chance that the Vikings and Packers were going to be in different divisions. Like we got extremely lucky that like those four teams ended up together. Yeah.
I found it. The AFC West in the beginning was Kansas City, Denver, San Diego, Oakland, Tampa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because the
Forgot
Bucks
were
played
the
their first year in the
AFC.
AFC. Yeah. And then they swapped with the Seahawks.
Not as bad as the old Norris division, though. That shit's
God.
just funny. Hang on.
While you're doing that, fun fact about conference switching and things like that: the Jets and Colts are the only two teams in NFL history that have played each other in a Super Bowl and a conference championship game.
Here we go. In 1979, the Norris division was Detroit, Hartford, Montreal, Pittsburgh, LA.
Oh,
no. But not the Bruins.
It's really funny to read about like sports in like the the early 1900s up until like the 60s or 70s, or even actually probably till like the 80s, because there were just no teams out west. So it was always just like, shit, where are we gonna put the LA and Bay Area teams? Like, who are they gonna play every week?
It's still weird to me now that like the Seahawks were in the AFC in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking the Astros in the NL.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that too, the only other the Colts Jets thing I was saying, the only other combo like that can happen is if the Seahawks and Dolphins play in a Super Bowl. So they have also played
there was a Seahawks Dolphins conference championship game?
84, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
that would have been what, Marino's like second or third year?
Yeah, it was the first year. Oh no, sorry. It was the year after, or no, the year before that, I believe. I think it was 83. Oh no, sorry. It would be Seattle and the Raiders.
Figure it out.
Dolphins.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because in 83, that was the first year the Seahawks made the playoffs and they got all the way to the AFC Championship game. So yeah, sorry, Seahawks and Raiders would be the other one that could happen, not Dolphins. So.
Here, the original Adams division was Boston, Buffalo, Toronto, and the Golden Seals.
Oh, I like that they couldn't put the two California teams in a division together. They had to.
No. They had to separate them.
Long live the Golden Seals.
Oh God.
Oh, that's what we should do. Next week we should introduce ourselves as defunct sports teams.
The whole team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be the Cleveland Barons.
I'm the Seattle Pilots.
Furniture Row Racing.
Oh, and that was Jag Saints.
Game 1, we're already wildly off topic.
And Jack isn't even here.
Yeah. You know who else wasn't there on Sunday? The Detroit Lions.
Yeah, wow. Even when the Lions are good, they always seem to have one game a year where they just look like the worst team to ever exist. And Sunday was that game. Yeah,
so all year it seemed like the Ravens have been in theory really good, and then finally they, put it all together and had just like probably their best game on offense of the season. And also their defense showed the fuck up because the Lions could do absolutely nothing all day. It was hang on, I'm trying to figure out when it was where they got their first down of the game. It was, let's see. Their first down was, oh god, why is it not time stamped? With about 7 minutes to go in the half. Yeah. So deep into the first half, they finally got a first down. They ended the first half with 34, 40 yards of offense. Some other stats for the Lions: 84 rushing yards on the day. They were 5 of 16 on third down and 2 of 6 on fourth down. Allowed 5 sacks, punted 4 times, and only turned the ball over once. They just didn't do anything.
Yeah,
The
they are
Ravens just
really
absolutely
missing David
dominated them on
Montgomery.
defense. Yeah. And I think that was definitely a big part of it was, David Montgomery has been, outside of, Jared Goff, probably their best player on offense this year. It was bad. It was really bad.
Very
Lamar
bad.
also had arguably one of the best games of his career in this game. Only 6 incompletions, 3 touchdowns. He did lose the fumble, but no interceptions, and pretty damn close to a perfect passer rating. So it basically was a perfect storm of just shittage for the Lions, or basically everything that could go wrong for them on Sunday did.
350 yards of passing as well. And even like Odell Beckham's been pretty invisible this year. He had a big game. Yeah, this was just who did I pick last week? I think I did pick the Lions. I saw this game as a toss up. I felt like I was kind of picking with my heart, and I was like, nah, the Lions are going to win this. I did not think it was going to be this much of an ass whooping though. If it was a Ravens win,
I like Gus Edwards leading the Ravens in receiving with 1 reception.
1 catch, 80 yards.
And he didn't even score on it. What the hell?
Oh, no.
But Nelson Aguilar got a touchdown in this game.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the test, though, for the Lions is this going to spiral from here? I don't think it's going to.
Nah.
I think this is just one weird game. I think they're too good of a team. And the thing too is they've been destroyed with injuries, but they are incredibly deep, roster.
They are.
It has not affected them for the most part. I think this is maybe the first time it started to catch up with them. But I think they're also going to start getting a lot of those guys back, and I think they'll be fine after this. So.
They also have.
No,
go ahead.
This is a team a couple years ago that started 0-8, 0-9.
0-9
and 1 or something, and then it
was 10 and 1.
Yeah, they were winless and tied the Steelers.
I think, god damn it, I think one loss isn't going to hurt them that bad.
They have a pretty favorable schedule too. They've got Oakland or Las Vegas next week, and then the Chargers.
Just call them Oakland.
Force a habit.
Dead naming them.
They got the Bears twice, the Packers and the Saints and the Broncos, and the Vikings twice, which they look like they're getting better, but I think the Lions are still a superior team. Obviously not a great look for them, but the rest of their schedule looks I'm not going to say they're going to win out, but I think they could win at least 75% of what they got left and be in a pretty good spot come playoff time.
Yeah, that's the only part, what you mentioned in Minnesota, that gives me concern is the Bears are the Bears. The Packers look completely lost right now. And if you're the Lions and you start slipping, well, the Vikings seem like they're heating up, and you do not want to let them back in. So, but I think they'll rebound, but we'll see. Yeah. Speaking of the Raiders, though, and the Bears, this was another terrible team because, God damn it, I am sick of Josh McDaniels. The Bears beat the Raiders 30-12, and it was
the backup
more lopsided. Yeah, it was more lopsided than that score suggests. Brian Hoyer lost his 13th consecutive start and got benched midway through the game through 2 hideous interceptions. Devontae Adams looked pissed, and the team says they're not going to trade him. I don't know why. I don't know what your plan is.
Nobody knows
Free
what's
Devontae
going on over
Adams.
there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
Tyson
bad.
Bagent looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like every time we bring him up on the show, we keep having to remind ourselves of who the hell this guy is, but he just went out there and told us who he was.
By the way, he is the son of a world arm wrestling champion, I found out this week.
That's awesome.
He's also tatted up as all hell, which is pretty cool. Yeah, no, he had a pretty solid, I mean, numbers wise, not the flashiest game, but like made it look like he's going to be in the NFL for a long time. If you know, highly competent, I think is the best way to describe the way he played. And I don't mean that in like a condescending way or anything, obviously. Yeah, the Bears offense did stuff. It's crazy. They ran the ball. So
Maybe they just need to get rid of Claypool.
yeah. Oh, okay. Hang on. There was a great stat about that. Let me find it.
The one
I think
you
I
posted
saw that
earlier.
one too.
Yes. So, God, of course, the username is cropped out of this. Thanks at. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell you what page tweeted this. Never mind, because you watermarked somebody else's tweet and then cut their name out of it. So I'm not going to give you credit either. Since trading Chase Claypool, the Bears are 2-1 and we're 0-13 with him. The Dolphins were 5-1 before activating him and are 0-1 since. And the Steelers last year started 2-6, traded him, and then have been 11-4 since then.
Here's another one too. Tyson Bagent, I honestly don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Bagent.
He is the first Bears quarterback to win his first career start since Craig Krenzel in 2004.
What?
Fucking
Wait, so
Craig Krenzel. That's who next week's got to be presented by. It's Craig Krenzel.
Let's think about the quarterbacks who've come in for the Bears since then. So you had Rex Grossman, Kyle Orton, Jay Cutler, Josh McCown.
There was some Caleb Haney sprinkled in there.
Yeah. Oh my God, who?
Trubisky.
Oh, Trubisky. There's somebody in between there. Who? Well, one of the 1,000 times that Jay Cutler was hurt. Trubisky, Justin Fields, whoever that backup was that Trubisky kept getting benched for. Yeah, that's bad.
And now Tyson Bagent.
Yeah. Also,
what about Jimmy Clausen?
Oh, I forgot
God.
about Jimmy
And the Matt Barkley year / Brian Hoyer.
Oh, God.
Jesus
remember,
Christ.
I think it was 2013 that Cutler got hurt midway through the year, and Josh McCown came in and played at like a Pro Bowl level. And then their response was to sign Jay Cutler to a like $120 million contract.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I was thinking about that the other day because somebody posted the video of, ironically, it was the year they hosted the NFC Championship game, and it was a game against Washington where Cutler threw 4 interceptions to the same guy. Like, how many times?
That was D'Angelo Hall, right?
Yeah, D'Angelo Hall, yeah. How many times Jay Cutler's teams collapsed in like the final 2 weeks and missed the playoffs is absurd. Because like they did it like in 2006 and 2008, they went into the final week with a win-and-in situation and they lost. 2008 was famously the year where they were 8-5 with 3 games to go, and the Chargers were 4-8, and they lost the division to the Chargers.
Jesus Christ.
2010 was the only year Cutler made the playoffs. You had 2011 and 2012. They were like on pace to be the number 1 seed and then fell apart. They had the 2013 season, which was the one where all they had to do was not give up like a 4th and 15 to the Packers at home with like 10 seconds left. And then they proceeded to do that. God, let's bring back Jay Cutler.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Let's throw him into a pool again.
Yeah. That time Peyton Manning almost killed Jay Cutler. What team should Jay Cutler play for?
Giants.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fitting. Honestly, I don't think it would be that much of a downgrade from what they've got going right now.
And the
Tell me
media
he
coverage
couldn't-
would be sublime.
Oh yeah, no, dude, nothing will ever beat when Jay retired because nobody wanted him after 2016, and then Tannehill got injured in preseason, and Adam Gase was like, "Hey man, you want to hang out and do whippets or something?" He was like, "All right." Came out of retirement, retirement, and then they asked him like, "Have you been working out in the off season?" And he was like, "I'm a quarterback. I don't need to be in shape." He said that in his introductory press conference, and then stunk that whole year, except for when they played the Patriots at home, where he threw for like 400 fucking yards and beat the Patriots.
Yeah, I remember that game vividly. What the fuck?
We need more people like quarterbacks with just God-given abilities who just don't care, like Jay Cutler.
Remember when they ran that one play and he just had his hands in his pockets, standing there?
They ran a wildcat play and had him at fucking receiver, and he just stood there with his hands on his hips, just watching it happen. He didn't even fucking move. I miss
That's how
Jay
I'm trying to
Cutler.
be.
Yeah. Dude made like $500 million off of like, maybe he'll be good this year. Yeah. And that was Bears Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
Jay Cutler Bowl. Even though Jay Cutler never played for the Raiders, but they're also not trying, so. Speaking of not trying, the refs in Colts Browns, because
God.
Jesus Christ.
Not once, twice.
We also forgot to mention they did the same thing for the Browns last week too, where I think it was Tre'Davious Ward got, or have you pronounced his name, got flagged for playing football, and then on a third down stop, the Browns or the 49ers got called for holding, which they just wasn't holding. And then this week, the Colts score a long touchdown with oh my god, who am I? I'm drawing a blank on who it was. God damn it, who was it who scored that last touchdown? I gotta find this now. Michael Pittman.
I think it was Pittman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he threw up the deuces like Tyreek Hill does every week, and they penalized him for taunting, which is, again, the weakest shit in football. And then 2 drives later, the Browns drive down the field, and they're lined up in the red zone, and PJ Walker gets strip sacked of the ball, trying to throw it away, and the Colts recover it to hang on to the lead, and they flag them for illegal contact, which was literally just like, no.
No,
The
nothing
receiver
happened.
ran straight into him.
Yeah, like the defender's trailing him, the receiver changes direction and runs through him. PJ doesn't even get to throw off, and they flag it for illegal contact, which it's like, if anything, it was OPI.
That
So
fumble
that
would have
gives-
also ended the game, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
the Browns had no
overturns a
timeouts
literal-
left, so this would have ended it.
yeah, it overturns a literal game-winning turnover, and then like 2 plays later, PJ Walker airmails it over, I think it was Donovan Peoples-Jones' head by like a solid 5 yards, and they call them for pass interference, which, like, again, I wouldn't have even called it pass interference. And then the fact that the ball wasn't even close to catchable.
Gumby could not have caught that ball.
God.
It also wasn't two plays there. It was the very next play against the same player again.
Oh my God.
And,
Yeah.
like, that was probably defensive holding at best. But regardless of whether it's defensive holding or not, I don't understand why that's even a call. If the ball is almost going into the stands as opposed to being in the end zone.
Yeah.
Like, if there is literally no way in hell that even one of the camera guys on the fucking sidelines can catch the ball, why is it something that's being called if it literally is not affecting the outcome of the play?
In both penalties, too. It was a penalty for a play that had no effect on the play itself. Like, it was on the other side of the field. And the thing that's crazy about this is last year when they announced they were going to be cracking down on like illegal contact penalties, Rich Eisen straight up called that shit like this was going to happen. He was like, what we're going to have is these game-changing plays at the end of games that are going to get overturned by something that happens on the complete opposite side of the field that had nothing to do with what we were being shown on TV. He's like, this is going to happen. And sure enough, it happened. And nothing pissed me off more than listening to, I think it was it was either Gene Steratore or Dean Blandino fucking bootlicking the refs and talking about, oh, it's a good call on the illegal contact. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you were literally a ref. We all know whose back you're going to have here.
Yeah.
Sick of that motherfucker.
That taunting call
and
though
then-
was also really bad because like whether somebody does it every week without being penalized for it or not, why are you penalizing somebody for some pussy shit like throwing up the deuces at a defender? What are we
So
doing here?
stupid. Oh my god. Unserious.
Like there have been so many terrible taunting calls since they started cracking down on that a couple of years ago. And no matter how many more ridiculous ones keep getting called, they don't seem to be budging on undoing it, and it gets more infuriating every time it happens.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. But yeah, and then like 2 plays later, Kareem Hunt scores with 12 seconds left because they're on the 1 yard line because of PI. It was bullshit. It like the Colts just straight up got robbed. Yeah, and it's like it's a bummer that shit like this happens because this was a really good game. By far, like the most impressive player was Myles Garrett. Like, not often do you see a defender just decide like, no, I'm gonna go win the game. Because he had the blocked field goal where he just straight up hurdled the O-line without ever touching them, which means it's legal. He had, I believe he had a forced fumble as well. 2 sacks on the day. Like, Myles Garrett's going to win a Defensive Player of the Year at this rate. And that was the main thing that really kept them in this game because PJ Walker had a rough day.
Yeah, he did.
Deshaun Watson also started the game, completed 1 of 5 passes and threw an interception, and then was pulled from the game because his shoulder is injured. And to which I say, damn, that sucks. Anyway, yeah. So Colts got robbed, but what are you gonna do? So yeah,
It's at least it happened to the Colts. It's a team nobody cares about.
yeah, true. Although, did you see that Irsay
I did see
kind of
that.
broke the NFL's protocol by basically telling everybody that, like, yeah, the NFL said they screwed it up. Instead of letting the NFL do PR and damage control, Irsay just fucking kicked the hornet's nest. So, I
And say what
appreciate
you
that, at
want
least.
about Jim Irsay, but I wish there was a lot more transparency when it came to stuff like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like when the NBA releases those like final 2-minute reports and they lay out like a call that was missed or a foul that was called that shouldn't have been or whatever. Like, I wish the NFL would finally take some damn responsibility and say, hey, look, we fucked up. We know it affected the outcome of the game. We're genuinely sorry this happened, and we're going to do better to make sure that these calls don't happen again. Why is it so hard to do that?
because that would involve admitting that you're wrong. And when you make billions of dollars, why would you ever do that?
Yeah. Everybody else is wrong.
What was it on this show that I told the story of the Steve Mariucci press conference after that infamous Giants 49ers playoff game?
Maybe?
So the Giants blew oh my god, what was it? It was like a 31-10 lead or something like that. It was a huge blown lead to be down, I believe it was same score, 39-38 or something like that. And the Giants, who had Trey Junkin, who was like 20-year vet as a long snapper, called him out of retirement to long snap for this playoff game. And on the game-winning field goal attempt, he didn't snap it far enough and put it in the dirt. And so the Giants holder scrambles and throws downfield, and an offensive lineman down the field trying to catch it gets straight up horse collared and tackled before the ball goes or gets to him. So everybody's like, holy shit, it's PI. And then they called him for ineligible man downfield, which he wasn't. He reported as eligible, and they just didn't call the pass interference and just straight up fucked the Giants. It should have been at least offsetting penalties, if not a penalty on the 49ers. And instead, the Giants lose that game. The 49ers go on. The next day, the NFL comes out and says the refs blew the call. It should have been first down Giants. And Steve Mariucci, the 49ers head coach, did his press conference, and they told him about that. And his response was, bummer. And that was it. Oh, Steve Mariucci.
That just reminded me of the 2001 game between the Browns and the Chiefs too.
Oh God, was that the Chiefs or was that the Jaguars?
The Browns
was
Chiefs
bottle
one was
cake,
was when he took the helmet off.
Yeah, when Dwayne
While everybody, all the coaches were going on the field, so they called him for unsportsmanlike conduct.
It wasn't even that. It was while the play was still going because he thought he sacked Trent Green, and so he chucked his helmet, and then he turns around, and the offensive lineman's running 40 yards down the field with the ball.
Yeah, I think the Jags one is when they ran a play, but then undid the previous one, which literally can't happen. And then they ended the game because all the fans threw shit on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember.
But even that they weren't sure if they could do because, like, the NFL's like, yeah, you can't just end a game early for that, but then they did anyway or something.
I think, like, 45 minutes later, the Jaguars came out and, like, kneeled the ball out for, like, the final 30 seconds or something like that. But, yeah. Yeah, the fucked thing about that, too, is, like, the NFL tried saying that, like, oh, well, the official signaled for a review before they got the next playoff, but, like, there's literally video evidence of that not happening. They just decided that they were like, well, we don't think you got that one, which, like, to be fair, probably should have been overturned, but the Browns did get another playoff in time. So, like, tough shit, which we'll talk about a scenario like that later in another extremely poorly official game.
Yeah, the one time something like this didn't royally fuck over the Browns.
Yeah, okay, so that's the weirdest thing about this, right? Okay, this is 2 weeks in a row that the Browns have basically been given a fucking win on a platter, and that's weird because the NFL hates its bad teams. Like, the refs hate the Jets, like, we all know that. They usually hate the Browns,
and they've always really hated the Lions.
Actually, you know, I was just about to I might have just split my opinion on this now that I think about it, because Roger Goodell does not like Deshaun Watson. But I know we have our problems with Roger Goodell, but the one thing I will give him credit for is that he was the one who was pushing for a full season suspension for him last year. He was pissed
which he should have gotten
that that he only got a 6-game suspension initially, and he was the one who pushed it to 11. What if, because this is 2 weeks in a row that Deshaun Watson hasn't played, that he's calling it in like, rig it in favor of the Browns. We got to make it look like Deshaun Watson's the reason they're losing.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And to that I say, good on you, Raj. Keep it up. He did just get an extension. Maybe that's the other owner is like, yeah, dude. Oh my God. Actually, no, that does make sense. Because think about it. Because all the other 31 owners hate the Deshaun Watson contract, and none of them want to give anything like that. And they are technically Roger Goodell's boss.
Because it just completely fucking ruined the market.
Yeah,
for someone that didn't deserve it.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing with Lamar Jackson's holdout. Is he was like, I want the Deshaun Watson contract, and then he saw that he was like, oh yeah, nobody else really is getting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Browns were just that stupid.
Yeah. So
they're that stupid to give that big of a piece of shit that big of a contract, and now it's looking to be one of the worst contracts in sports history.
It's pretty bad.
And like,
this is approaching Rick DiPietro levels of bad.
And like, just like at face value, right? If none of the stuff with the whole sexual assault scandal, if none of that happened and he never missed any time, let's say the Texans traded him to the Browns like after the 2020 season, and then they gave him that contract, it would have been understandable then because he was really fucking good then. But knowing that all of this has happened and he has all of this extra baggage attached to him on top of not playing in almost 2 years, why would you even risk that and give up so much capital for it?
Yeah.
Like, if this doesn't pan out, they don't have a first round pick, like what, 2026 or something?
Because the Haslams love their terrible people.
That's true. Jimmy Haslam is a felon, so.
Yeah.
God.
Noted normal person, Jimmy Haslam.
Yep.
What a just. I hope. Well, I shouldn't say that. I want Deshaun Watson to cost the
nice
Browns
time.
all that money and just be absolute dog water for him. I don't want him to have like a Jeff Theismann, because then you have to feel bad for the guy that got hurt.
Yeah.
I want him to get in trouble again.
Yeah, I want him to suffer the entire time.
Yeah. I want him to just play like absolute shit for the duration of his contract. And it's
live
like,
with it.
It's almost like he got the money and now he realizes he doesn't have to try anymore because it was fully guaranteed.
That's the worst part of it. It's like the Browns did all this to even get him, but then they left themselves no outs if it went wrong.
Yeah, it's just
like the Broncos.
They're fucked.
Was Wilson's with the Broncos fully guaranteed too, or
no? It's just
no.
Real. It's just a lot.
Okay, well at least the Broncos, it might be a shitty out, but they still have an out. The Browns are just fucked if this stuff goes wrong at some point. Like they won this game, but it was with PJ Walker on, and they got aided by 2 horrible calls. Like, I don't know how much of a win this really is. So,
yeah.
And it was also an uncharacteristically bad game from their defense.
Yeah, and this is a Super Bowl caliber team too. Like, they had a bad game, but like this defense is unbelievably good. When Nick Chubb's healthy, they have the best running game or running tandem in the league with him and Kareem Hunt. Like, their receiving core isn't the most studded, but it's like extremely solid. Like, this is such a strong team, and it's a shame that that's who's usually under center. So, yeah. I think that's all we had to say about Colts Browns. So, yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to transition to this next game, but Bills traveled up to New England to play the Patriots. Let me tell you.
Very sad we don't have Jack here for this one.
Seriously.
There's some serious weirdness coming out of the Bills right now.
Yeah.
So the Patriots did beat the Bills 29-25. I'm glad you let me say that. This felt good. I finally, we've been doing this show all year, and I finally feel good after a win. This is nice. Because the Jets game sucked. There was nothing good about that, even though they won. This was great. A lot of good happened in this game.
Yeah, this is 2 weeks in a row that through 3 quarters, the Bills did fuck all on offense.
And it bit them this time.
Yeah. Yeah, Ken Dorsey is a football terrorist. That's all I have to say about that. And the other thing, too, is I don't know if this was just a product of them being worn down for being on the field basically the whole game, but like the Bills' defense could not close this game out when they had to either. That was the biggest part, I think.
Well, especially against an offense that hadn't scored more than 20 points in a game this year.
Yeah, it was their first offensive touchdown in, 16 quarters, I think this was the stat was?
Well, they had the 2 rushing touchdowns against the Raiders last week, but this is the first passing touchdown since the Jets game in the second quarter.
That's right, yeah.
They went 4 games without a fucking passing touchdown, and the even crazier part is, not only did they let Mac Jones do that, but this was unironically one of the best games of Mac Jones' career.
Oh, yeah, he was playing fantastic.
Only 5 incompletions. I think I saw something where I think this is one of the highest completion percentages in Patriots history with at least 30 passes or something. It was a really fucking good game. And he led them down the field on that methodic drive that because the Patriots led this whole game. Bills scored to take the lead, and I was like, oh shit, this is how it's going to unravel. And in the chat, Jack goes, don't worry, Sean McDermott will Sean McDermott, and sure enough, he did.
Yep.
And you let a guy who's been struggling all year with his confidence and everything lead a team of misfits down the field to win the game and take it back from them. It was honestly nuts.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest part of it too. Is the Patriots blew this game. Like let the Bills get back in, had the fumble,
They
Bills
did.
score the go-ahead touchdown, and then the Bills let them march right down to the goal line. And then, unlike last week, didn't stop them at the 1. That was, I believe, Bill Belichick's 300th win as a coach.
Yes.
Too.
It was.
The third, he finally got the 300. And
Took you long enough.
this is something nuts too that I saw after this game, where the touchdown pass to Mike Gesicki at the end was the first time the Patriots had a go-ahead passing touchdown in the final 15 seconds of the game since they beat the Saints in 2013. Care to guess who the receiver was that caught that touchdown pass from Tom Brady?
Oh, I know this game too. Oh my God, who was it? I can't remember.
Try Kenbrell Tompkins.
What
Who?
the fuck?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
And the last one before that was also against the Bills in 1998 to Ben Coates. And if you've never seen the clip, that's the one where the Bills left the field before they could kick the extra point, so Pete Carroll had Adam Vinatieri run the ball in for the 2 points at the end.
Oh, okay. Actually, no. Okay, there's a really funny story about that play, right? So Vinatieri's the kicking the extra point, and Tom Tupa is the punter, or is the holder, who's their punter. And Vinatieri's talked about this. He's like, we're lined up there, and I tell Tupa, I'm like, hey, give me the ball. And he was like, what? Why? And he's like, give me the fucking ball, or I'm gonna tackle you before you can run it in. And so sure enough, they snap it, and Tupa just like hands him the ball, and then he just like struts in for the 2-point conversion. Yeah. Also, big shout out. The Patriots brought back the silver pants, and I'm a big fan.
Yes, they did. They're 1-0 with the silver pants. They got to keep wearing them now.
Yeah, they wore them last year and got blown out by the Bears, and they were like, nope, never wearing them again. And I was like, why? They look so much better.
And I'll be honest, like, the Patriots could go winless for the rest of the year, but this one felt really fucking good, I gotta be honest. This one was good. We didn't
get Jack Rage.
Yeah.
On the Bills side, like, they need to make some fucking moves at the trade deadline or something.
Yes.
Like, this team's got holes, and they need to work on it. Because
it's like they finally figured out the running game, and then everything else is leaking.
Yeah. And even when they figure it out, they don't fucking run the ball. God damn it.
That's the even crazier part. It's like, holy shit, James Cook is really good. This guy could run for 150 yards every game and be the difference maker in the game. How about we give him, I don't know, only 13 attempts? And that's it?
Yeah, let's like, keep giving it to Latavius Murray. He'll get it this time. But yeah, this is 3 games in a row that they have just come out of the gates so slow, and they got to make some changes. First off, you need another receiver, right? Like, Diggs is great. He can't carry it on his own. Gabe Davis disappears for games at a time. Dalton Kincaid's finally doing something, but like, you need somebody else, right?
Yeah, they need another weapon.
Kincaid finally had a game. Like Ken Dorsey's like this weird anti-tight end guy where like they drafted a fucking really good tight end in the first round and they waited until basically this week to use him.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Go give Mark Davis an offer he can't refuse for Devontae Adams, and then go win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like
a top 2 of Adams and Diggs. Oh man.
Like it's insane to me that like going into this year's draft, I was like, I can't believe they didn't take a fucking receiver. Like, what are they doing? And then sure enough, they don't have any fucking receiving talent. Their defense is super injured right now. Like, the Bills need to be making some moves here at the trade deadline, because this is a big year for them. And like, this is 3 games in a row that they have had huge question marks over them. So
yeah, and like and the Bills are going to get Von Miller back pretty soon, but that's still not enough to make up for all the openings that they have right now with all the guys that have gone down.
Yeah,
well, like Von Miller isn't going to fix the whole Tre'Davious White left and everybody else, or the whole Matt Milano left.
Yeah, he's been on a pitch count though. I think he's been back, but yeah.
Yeah. So. Well, at full strength, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's too many openings for Von Miller to just kind of fill all at the same time. So they've definitely got to go out and say, hey, we got to do some shit here.
Oh, for sure. So
honestly,
make some changes.
I think they would have been good going after J.C. Jackson before the Patriots scooped him up. But
yeah, that would have been a good one. So, yeah, they need to make some changes though, because this could get out of hand very quickly. So,
they got a tough
the
road ahead too.
Patriots move to 2-5. Bills to fall to 4-3.
I think my favorite part too about this game is the fact that like the Patriots are probably tanking at this point, and even though they won, they didn't lose any ground in the draft positioning because the Bears and Giants also won.
That's right. Yeah.
So like, there's nothing bad at all this week. It's great.
Speaking of the Giants, they got their second win as well.
Somehow.
Oh boy,
this game was awful.
Things aren't going great for the comrades over here. Sam Howell got sacked. How many times was it?
6 more times.
6 more times.
So he's up to 40 sacks through 7 games.
For the record, coming into this game, the Giants had 5 on the season, so they doubled their sack count in the season. Yeah, this game was bad. This is really bad. Sam Howell's gonna die. That's a problem. This was definitely a game though where both teams tried to lose because the Giants jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Commies scored out of halftime and then proceed to have basically nothing happen for the rest of the game. And the Giants had a chance to basically put it away, and then Saquon Barkley fumbled and gave the Commies one last shot at the end zone, and then came. I think it was Jahan Dotson. I think is who it was who dropped basically a first down right down at like the red zone, and that was basically it for this game. It was bad. It's not a very fun one.
No.
It looked really promising for the Commies after week 2, and since then it's
yeah, it's
that offensive line is bad.
This might be one of the worst offensive lines of all time. Like
it's
so
a combo
far.
of that and Sam Howell has no pocket awareness.
I mean, it also doesn't help that the quarterback behind this offensive line is relatively inexperienced. But the fact that the sack record is 76 and Sam Howell's on pace to break that with like 2 games or 3 games to spare is really, really bad.
He's going to obliterate that. Yeah.
Here, I want to read off the drive summary for this game. Okay. It's a good one. Starts with the Giants with the ball, right? Punt, missed field goal, punt, Giants touchdown, punt, Commanders interception, Giants touchdown, punt, end of half. Third quarter starts with the Commies punt, and then I believe the Giants muff the punt. Yeah. So, hang on. The Commanders center, his last name is Cheeseman.
Yeah!
Cheesy.
Oh, cheesy.
Anyway.
Wait, he's the cheeseburger people!
Oh my god. Fucking god.
We found him!
It out. He's they!
He's them.
So they convert that muffed punt into a touchdown, and then punt, missed field goal by the Commies, fumble by the Giants, turnover and downs by the Commies, end of fourth quarter for the Giants.
Yeah, this game just it was ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Remember last year when these two teams played really fun football against each other?
Mm-hmm.
And then they basically changed nothing and got extremely bad.
Yeah, this was a Giants win with Tyrod Taylor too. So
yeah. You lost to Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, so that was what's funny too is like this is 2 straight like extremely low scoring games. So it's like, what if they just have a really good defense now?
Yeah, I mean they give up 14 last week and 7 this week. Like that's 2 really good defensive games in a row.
Yeah.
So the Giants defense might be turning a corner here. The problem is the offense going to be able to do it?
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say no.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think we really have anything else to say about this game because it was
No, that's
bad,
really about
stupid,
it. This
bad,
was just
dumb.
bad football.
Yeah. Speaking of bad football, Falcons Bucks.
Yeah, what the fuck was this? The Falcons after week 8 or week 7 are leading the NFC South.
This was the type of bad game that was almost fun to watch, because it was really just like Tampa's reaching their ceiling. It seems like they have no running game. Like Baker and the passing offense are only doing so much. Like he's connecting really well with Mike Evans, and Evans, Godwin, and like Rashad White, but they just cannot run the ball, and that is not how you win football games, as we talked about a lot last week with the Bills and this week with the Bills. And the Falcons seemingly have it like all figured out on offense, except they can't score because they fumbled in the red zone, I think 3 times.
Oh my! The worst one was when Ritter was running it into the end zone on the left side, and the Bucks guy just punched it right out, and it flew through the end zone for a touchback.
For reference, that was the third one as well, right? So the first one was, where did they fumble it from? They were at the Tampa. Oh wait, no. Yeah, they were at Tampa's 11, and Ritter got sacked and lost the ball. And then later you had the crazy ass Drake London play where he like this was immediately after, by the way, the Bucks forced a punt and then immediately fumbled the ball back. And so the Falcons get it back. Drake London catches the ball and like dives for the pylon and basically gets like flipped, and he like just barely grazes his fingers out of bounds. So otherwise he would have fumbled it through the end zone for another touchback. So they mark him down at the 1, and then literally on the next play, Ritter fumbles the snap. Bucks get the ball back. And then the third one, Ritter running to his left to go in for a touchdown, lets up and starts jogging and gets the ball punched out of his hands for a touchback. 3 fumbles inside the Buccaneers red zone.
And they still won the game.
Yeah.
I also want to point out like how even the time of possession was in this game. 30 minutes and 1 second for the Bucks, 29 minutes and 59 seconds for the Falcons.
Yeah.
You can't get closer than that. Like this was just like a this was just such a weird game where like neither team ever felt like they were playing better than the other. And it was just a game where somebody had to win it, and the Falcons said, "All right, I guess it'll be us."
Yeah. And like the Bucks kept putting together like okay drives, and then they would just fizzle out after like 20 or 30 yards.
Yeah, the Falcons just got lucky that they have one of the best kickers in the NFL that can get them out of these situations.
Yeah. It's like Desmond Ritter is like actively trying to lose because he doesn't want to play football, and he was like, all right, maybe if I fumble it on the 1, maybe I won't have to play football anymore.
He probably wants to go back to Cincinnati or something.
Yeah. Yeah, even again, this is a game that they won, but it's like at what point is he no longer the starter? Because like
we're on to Cincinnati.
It was bad.
Another game where Kyle Pitts really didn't do much of anything. Also, the whole thing with Bijan Robinson before this game was really fucking weird.
I was just about to mention that, yeah. Your part of him is like he wasn't feeling good. He was warming up, but he only got 1 carry, and that was late in the game. He wasn't on the field really until late in the game, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he was dealing with like headaches all day," which is like, okay, if you got, it's probably like a symptom of migraines. And then the NFL was like, "Why wasn't he on the injury report?"
I think the NFL was looking into that too, because he should have been on it.
Yeah. So, which like I know a lot of people are losing their minds over because fantasy, and to which I say I don't care about fantasy, but
you're mad about it for the wrong reason then.
Yeah, he's the most talented player on this team, and if he's just like not playing, everybody's like, the fuck's going on over there?
Like, it was definitely handled the wrong way, but people are mad about it for a reason that they shouldn't be mad about it for.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah, this game also had another like Baker Mayfield like 15-yard scramble for a first down. Because he seems to do that like every week, where he's just like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself." But yeah, this is the Falcons are just like extremely sloppy, and the Bucks are kind of hitting their ceiling. Like they got to figure out how to run the ball better because like I think Rashad White has talent, they just can't run block at all, and they have no like run defense either, which seemed like it was going to be scary. Except like the Falcons running offense really didn't do anything. So
yeah, you can't stop
yeah,
what isn't there.
it's true. Yeah, the Falcons moved 4-3. They're now leading the division. The Bucks fall to 3-3.
A half game out of it.
Yeah, part of me
So
feels
the
like this division's
Falcons,
going to
the
go all the way to week
Bucks,
17.
yeah, the Falcons, the Bucks, and the Saints are all separated by a game, and then there's the Panthers,
Yep.
who were on a bye this week, but still feels like they lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of NFC teams that are quickly losing touch, the LA Rams. This is the other aforementioned terrible officiated game. Because good God, the way it ended.
Yeah, I think it was fine.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It was fine.
So the Steelers did their typical thing of doing nothing for 3 quarters, and then they were like, "Wait, football," and then had like 190 yards of offense in the 4th quarter. The Rams were up 17-0 or 17-10, which, by the way, they scored 17 in a really weird way, which is funny. Brett Maher
Canada
missed.
seems to be doing the bare minimum to keep his job, but he's also like writing the manual on what bare minimum is. So we never truly know what it is anymore.
It's like Brian Ferentz. They're doing the same fucking thing.
Like, yeah, but like interviewing somebody's really hard, and like he's already here.
Expensive.
Yeah, I don't feel like talking to anybody. So
I honestly wonder, like, if you had Brian Ferentz and Matt Canada swap places, if anything would change.
Oh, the Steelers would not score a point ever.
I know the Steelers would still score like 30 points, but it'd be like 3 defensive touchdowns and then like 5 safeties.
Matt Canada was loosely competent in college, and he's trying to run a college offense in the NFL, which just doesn't work. And that's what his problem is. He requires his players to be better than the other players.
It's almost like doing anything from college in the NFL is not going to fucking work.
Yeah.
See also Nick Saban, Greg Schiano, and like 35 other people that we could spend a whole episode talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're Pete Carroll and you just have so much weird dad energy, like it's not gonna work.
Yeah, Carroll is the exception to the rule.
Yeah. Because time is a flat circle and my nightmares never end. Brett Maher missed 2 field goals and an extra point, and look at that, they lost by 7 points. I'm sure Brett Maher.
Yep, his last game is a Ram.
Yeesh.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so the defining moment of this game was that the Steelers are up 24-17. It's right before the 2-minute warning. It's a 4th and 1, and Kenny Pickett sneaks it and very clearly gets stuffed. It's nowhere close to a first down. He's curled up in the fetal position on the ground a yard shy of the first down. And they spot the ball at the line to go, measure it, and give them a first down. And because the play started before the 2-minute warning but ended after, they don't automatically review it because it wasn't before the 2-minute warning. And the Rams are out of timeout, so they couldn't challenge it. And they just blatantly got it wrong, and the Steelers won because of it. Like, just awful.
Way, that rule of not being able to challenge in the 2-minute warning is one of the worst rules the NFL has in its book. What is the point of that?
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was they were out of timeouts, so they couldn't challenge it, and the NFL was like, "Well, we're not going to review it. It was before the 2-minute warning."
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, that part, but yeah. I still don't like the idea that even if the Rams had all 3 of their timeouts, that they couldn't have challenged it anyway.
Yeah. Well, in cases like that, they're going to automatically review it like every time. But like we said, the officials were like, "I don't want to work. Why would we review it? He put the ball on the ground. That's where it is."
I know that the refs are bad, and it shouldn't be celebrated that the refs are bad, but ever since the Jesse James catch, I will absolutely relish every single opportunity that the Steelers benefit from a bad ref call.
To this day, like even as a not like completely ambivalent towards the Steelers, that pisses me off every time I see that play.
I had to explain it to a friend that wasn't watching football when that happened, and I started seeing red as I was explaining it. It's like, remember the Simpsons episode when Homer or when Bart went to Knoxville with a fake ID and rented a car, and Lisa had to explain it to Homer, and he just turned red? Yes, that's quite a pickle. And then he turned around and lost his shit.
Dude,
See,
I can't.
as a Patriots fan, that was very happy that call was made the way that it was. That is one of the dumbest calls I've ever seen. That was awful, and it shouldn't have happened. I'm glad it did, but it was terrible.
Every time I watch football with my roommate, and I have to explain to him why PI is a thing, and I was like, "Well, you can't just tackle the guy because then, like, every defensive play would just be 11 dudes getting tackled as soon as the ball gets snapped." And he was like, "Yeah, what's the problem with that?"
The forward pass is a fad anyway. We should make any and all attempts to squash it out.
True, yeah. Run the ball. But yeah, I can't even imagine trying to explain something like that to somebody who's not a football fan. Yeah, that was some butt ass shit. But at the same time, your kicker needs to make some goddamn kicks. Sorry, Brett. So
yeah, Puka Nacua had another big game too, which is really the only thing to take away from this if you're the Rams, is that they got an absolute gem.
8 receptions for 154 yards.
And Cooper Kupp had 2 for 29.
It's crazy what having 2 good receivers does for you.
Yeah, and the Rams also have like no running game right now.
They haven't had a running game since like Todd Gurley. Like,
well, I mean, Tyrone Williams isn't that bad, but he got hurt because obviously, injuries be injuries. So they had to roll with Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson Jr. in this game.
Wait, how tall is Royce Freeman? Please tell me he's 5'9".
Oh, he's 6 feet. Damn.
Damn it. Royce to 5'11". Yeah. That's still my favorite rapper.
It's not funny anymore.
Royce to 5'9". He's like, yeah, he's not small, he's not big, he's just average. Average Royce.
Royce to manlet.
Royce to normal sized guy. Yeah. Do we have anything else to say about this game? I don't know.
Steelers got in the Super Bowl.
They again
had a lot of first downs
against their best efforts. Steelers gone to Super Bowl. So
I will
they're
say
4-2. How are they 4-2?
It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
The Bengals are 3-3 and are in last place.
Patrick Peterson and Levi Wallace fucking suck.
Doesn't matter. They're still winning.
I'm just saying they suck. Donkey balls.
Oh my god, I forgot Patrick Peterson was on the Steelers.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Well, Deontay Johnson came back though.
He did. I didn't see him,
dude.
Except for that one play, which was great.
You just know Mike Tomlin is fucking cranking it to this team right now. He's like, oh fuck yeah. He's like, we're going, dude. We're winning 9 games, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter what you do. Oh my god. And that was Steelers Rams. I forgot what game we were talking about for a second.
Pretty easy to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of Patrick Peterson, his old team, the Cardinals, lost 20-10 to the Seahawks, who we also talked about their catch. It is Geno season, in case anybody was wondering. 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh my god. They only hand the ball off to Kenneth Walker. What the fuck? 26 carries for 105 yards. Jackson Smith and Jigba finally had a game. He showed up.
And so did Jake Bobo.
What the fuck? Jake Bobo looks like budget Justin Herbert. Oh my god.
Gotta pull this up. Oh my god, he does.
Yeah.
Okay, but did you see the catch that Jake Bobo made in this game though?
I don't know if I did.
It was ridiculous.
Oh, I
just-
did see this one. Yes. Okay.
That was his touchdown catch.
Oh my god. Fucking Jake Bobo.
Good God.
Yeah, that one's wild. Yeah, I mean the Cardinals are still like kind of fun. I don't know. This was not Josh Dobbs' best game. This is probably his worst start that he's had so far. Yeah, we talked a lot about how it's like, hey, the Cardinals. But it's very clearly becoming that it was like, oh no, they are bad. Okay.
The
How did,
Cardinals
Greg
might be
Dortch
the
do?
best 1-6 team ever.
Greg Dortch update. 2 kick returns for 28 yards and 2 punt returns for 8 yards.
Hey, that's a good kickoff return.
Yeah.
Dorching it up. They need to put him back out there in offense so he can dorch some defenders downfield. So
It's Dorchin time.
it is Dorchin time. It's Dobbin time. It's Dorchin time. It's I can't figure out anybody else's name to do that with. Like, man, what do you want us to say? It's the Cardinals, okay?
It's the Cardinals.
Yeah, there really ain't much to. We got a Clayton Tune sighting in this game.
Babe, it's time for your biannual ass kicking by the Seahawks. Yes, dear.
Yes, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a
Imagine
whole
being
lot
a
happened
Cardinals
here.
fan. Like, what?
What are you doing
Besides
with
your
your life?
parents being Cardinals fans, what makes you look at that team
I
that has made
remember
a
when
single
they-
Super Bowl ever?
They
Ever.
the Pottsville Maroons for the NFL championship in 1925.
And it's how would they have fans? How do people go to those games anymore?
I mean,
I don't
the
understand.
stadium has air conditioning. That's probably why.
That's true. But why are
Yeah,
they
like it's-
fans of the Cardinals then?
It's Sunday and it's Glendale, and it's like, well, nothing else to do. You want to put on a red shirt?
You could go fry an egg on the sidewalk.
Yeah. You could, yeah. You want to go do Breaking Bad stuff? I
That's
know
New
it's
Mexico.
but it's same thing. New
Wait.
Mexico is just East Arizona. So.
See, Matt, it's really funny you mentioned the Pottsville Maroons too, because them being suspended from play for no fucking reason is the only reason why the Cardinals even won that championship.
Yeah,
That is one of
They,
the dumbest things I've ever read.
yeah. They and it's widely believed that they were cursed because of that, and that's because they haven't done anything since then. Steven, have you ever heard the story?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god, they played in the
In-
Anthracite League.
I was just about to fucking say that, you piece of shit.
The football is just a piece of coal.
Sounds painful. Pottsville. Oh, that's Eastern PA. Who gives a shit? I'm glad they shut down.
Oh my god. Individuals enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame include Fritz Pollard and Wilbur Pete Henry. Huh. We need to bring back the name Fritz. That's a good name.
We need Fritzes and Morgans and Eugenes and
Yeah.
Clives.
Wally.
Oh,
Short for
there was a
Walbert.
coach named Dewey in 1925.
Yes.
Dewey Scanlon coached the Duluth Kellys.
Dewey Scanlon. That's a good name.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Yeah, and that was Seahawks Cardinals.
Uh-huh.
I think about this occasionally, the joke I made, which is that the reason why Russell Wilson wanted out of Seattle is he was tired of listening to Pete Carroll loudly chew his gum into the microphone in his helmet. He's got misophonia or whatever that is, when you don't like listening to people chew.
That man
What the
couldn't,
hell?
like, he doesn't have any issues pleasing his wife.
Speaking of Russell Wilson, though, the Broncos won another game. They beat the Packers 19-16. This was another one of the games of all time.
This game
Yeah, this it was bad. Again, this is another bad game. The Broncos tried really hard to lose this game, but then Jordan Love was doing his best Brett Favre impression and threw a hideous interception to lose the game. It's very quickly getting away from the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even
So
know
remember-
how much momentum the Broncos are going to get from this, but the Packers, the wind is coming out of their sail real fast.
And I gotta find the the Sean Payton quote after this game. Shout out to SB Nation for this highlight or for this headline. Sean Payton had an existential sushi crisis after the Broncos beat the Packers.
What?
This is reported by Mike Kliss. Sean Payton today. Quote, that was a good win for us, and yet I'm driving home last night heading to get sushi. I don't like sushi, and finding myself circling around the parking lot. Quote, why can't I be happy? Well, you're searching for that perfect game. I'm just that way.
What?
What? Is he having a stroke?
name spawns
What does any of that mean?
Call a bondulance. First off, grow up. Sushi's great. Second, oh wait.
Sushi.
Speaking of this, also I knew this was going to tie into Pete Carroll's wife loving him. There's a follow up quote. I'm a good team player here. My wife likes it. My kids like it. Everyone in the party likes it. So I'm a team player. The nice thing is it was the first time we were going out to celebrate at home after a win at home. So that was good. And that was when Judy Bautista asked him, quote, why is he heading to get sushi if he doesn't like it? So
What a
What the
strange
hell?
man.
yeah, dude, Sean Payton is so weird. So, yeah, this was I don't know. I mean, both offenses looked pretty mediocre. Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about this last week because I forgot. Did you guys see the Steve Smith Jerry Jeudy beef last week?
Mm-hmm.
I did, yeah.
I cannot get over Steve Smith self-censoring with Ninja. That's when he was quoting what Jerry Jeudy said to
I like that Steve Smith is just as feisty as he was off on the field like 6 years after he stopped playing.
Dude, I love Steve Smith so much. And it's funny because like I watch and listen a lot of NFL Network stuff, and like everybody who works at NFL Network's like Steve Smith is like the nicest, most genuine person you will ever meet. But if you cross him ever, he will burn your house down. And that was basically what happened. Is he like criticized Jerry Jeudy and then tried to say like, hey man, I was wrong about that, and Jerry Jeudy was like, fuck out of here, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna ruin your career.
Isn't he in a contract here?
I think so.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I think there's been trade rumors around Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
that's a bad choice.
I mean, he's got talent. It's just they haven't had a fucking quarterback the entire time he's been there. The entire time he's been catches passes from, what was it, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, and now Russell Wilson. It's been bad.
Wait,
Jerry Jeudy
He
would have been
caught
great
his-
on the Seahawks.
he caught his first career touchdown from Brett Rippon.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
It's like Allen Robinson, where it was like, oh, if only he played with a real quarterback. And then last year he got to play with Matt Stafford and he stunk. Speaking of which, has he done anything this year for the Steelers?
Who?
Allen Robinson?
Probably not.
That's a good question. Let me look it up.
He had one catch for 7 yards this week.
6 games, 27 targets, 18 receptions, 144 yards.
Ooh.
It's not terrible.
They gave
That's-
up
that's what,
so
three
much, a
receptions a game?
a 7th round pick to get him.
Well, 7th round pick could be anything. It could even be Brock Purdy.
It could even be Allen Robinson.
Mystery box, Allen Robinson. What's in the box? It's Allen Robinson.
Also,
Not
something
funny.
something interesting I also noticed about this game is the fact that A.J. Dillon got twice as many carries as Aaron Jones did.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, hang on.
Like, the Packers have two really good running backs, but, like, neither of them have been able to do much of anything so far.
This is Aaron Jones' picture on Wikipedia. it's him wearing a Packers sombrero on the sideline.
What?
Okay, that's going in the thumbnail for sure. Yeah, no, that's weird. I mean, AJ Dillon's good, but like Aaron Jones is like the dude. Huh.
Yeah.
Did we have anything else to say about this game? I don't know.
Yes.
I'm waffling.
It happened.
Yeah,
Russell
it
Wilson.
did happen. I did watch it, so I can confirm this game did happen.
Really?
I watched like the
Interesting.
final 5 minutes of it. So
Yeah.
yeah. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Speaking of games that also happened, the Chiefs beat the Chargers again, 31-17.
The Chargers are so infuriating.
They're doing the Phillip Rivers thing again. Like, this is what, the fourth time that the Chargers have had like a Hall of Fame caliber talent at quarterback, and they're gonna do fucking nothing with them.
Wait, hold on.
Fouts.
Before we go any further with this, the Chargers have a tight end named Stone Smart.
Dude, they used to have an offensive lineman named Storm Norton.
And his last name is 2 T's and Smart.
Smarted.
What a name.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers had Dan Fouts, never made it to a Super Bowl. I think they only played in one AFC Championship game. Then they had Drew Brees, did nothing with him. Then they had Phillip Rivers and made it to one AFC Championship game. And now they have Justin Herbert, and they're 2-4. And they have loads of talent on offense and a defensive-minded head coach with like loads of talent on defense, and they suck.
Yeah, the Chiefs had 483 yards of offense. They were a Swiss cheese in that game.
And the crazy thing too is in the first half, the Chargers were keeping up with them.
They were keeping pace, and then the Chiefs just pulled away.
Yeah,
I'm guessing because of Taylor Swift.
True, yeah. Then she got in the game and it all changed.
I mean, Travis Kelce had a monster fucking game too.
Get Taylor Swift and a Wildcat.
I'm just waiting for a team to use her name as like an audible, like when the Patriots were playing the Jets and Brady's like Rex Ryan at the line. Yeah, I mean it all went downhill for the Chargers because I mean they were down 4 going into half and very much in the game, and then Chiefs fumble the ball out of halftime. They get the ball, they go all the way down to the Chiefs red zone and then get a tipped pass and intercepted. And it was over after that. Because then it was like 7 straight punts, and then the Chiefs just put it away with a touchdown, and then Herbert threw a game-ending interception after that. This is the Chargers. They're never going to win anything meaningful. They exist to get beat by your favorite team. That's their purpose in life. Fire Brandon Staley. That's all I have to say.
This team, God.
I genuinely think too, because if you look at their next 2 games, Bears and Jets,
they're not winning either of them.
If they lose either of them, I think he's gone. I think you fire him.
These are both primetime games, by the way.
If you lose to the fucking Bears, don't let him on the plane back home.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin him.
Yeah, be like, what? He's like, Brandon, what's that? And he looks, and then you jump in the plane and close the door.
No, the one that should have gotten the Lane Kiffin treatment was the Miami offensive coordinator 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they should just push him out of the plane in the middle of the flight home.
They tabletop him, yeah. So like Austin Eckler's down on like all fours behind him, and they just like Justin Herbert just like shoves him, and then they just jump into the plane and take off. Somebody draw that.
You're the artist here, motherfucker.
Oh, true.
Why'd you say that like Blaine Gabbert did?
Wait, what?
Whoa there, motherfucker.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite part about that clip is you can hear the sound guy furiously turning that knob down as he says it. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is still really good, as it turns out. And
Really?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who's this Mahomes guy?
Yeah, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. He might turn into something pretty good. He's being carried by Taylor Swift, though.
And Blaine Gabbert's relevant too, because he's Patrick Mahomes' backup right now.
It
all ties back.
Dude, imagine like how nice it must be to be like Chad Henne or Blaine Gabbert, because it's like, man, my career didn't work out for the Jaguars, funnily enough, for both of them. And he's like, I can just sit on the bench and watch this guy do something awesome, and then the one time a year he gets hurt for a drive, I can come in and score the easiest touchdown of my life, and everybody's like, yo, and you're like, yeah, that's right. Give me that.
It's the second time
money
Gabbert's done that, because he backed up Brady on the Bucks too and did that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like there was the one game I think in 2020 when the Bucks played the Lions and they pulled Brady at halftime because they were beating him so bad, and they let Gabbert score like 3 more touchdowns on him.
Oh my god. Yeah. So
yeah,
that was Chiefs Chargers. Again, coming into the season, it was crazy to think about. It was like, oh man, the Chiefs are going to be good. The Chargers are going to be good. The Broncos should be turning it around. The Raiders. And now we're 7 weeks in, and they're like, oh, it's over.
I mean, forget that. Like, remember we were talking about before last year started. We were talking about like all 4 of those teams that before last year were good enough to make the AFC Championship game, and only the Chiefs panned out.
Yeah, the Raiders are second in the division.
that is ridiculous. By doing nothing.
They're almost out-stealering the Steelers right now.
Do I want Matt Canada?
Games.
Who's their offensive coordinator?
The Raiders?
I don't know if he...
Yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Let's find out.
Who is their OC?
Mick Lombardi.
Who?
Mick Lombardi.
He was the wide receivers coach for the Patriots. He followed McDaniels to the Raiders.
As we know, the vaunted Patriots wide receiving corps from 2020 and 2021.
Yeah. Led by...
he was an offensive assistant for the Todd Bowles Jets.
and an offensive quality control coach for the Chip Kelly 49ers.
A defensive assistant for the Jim Tom Sola 49ers as well.
Oh my god.
And a coaching assistant. He began his career as a coaching assistant at Fordham, where he went to college.
Wait, can we play another game? Where's Fordham?
I'm
gonna
that
guess...
sounds like a snooty Northeastern school.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds Northeastern. I'm gonna say,
New York.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Where...
Fordham is...
It's in the Bronx!
Oh yeah, how about that?
Mick Lombardi is the son of Michael Lombardi, who was most recently the GM of the Browns in 2013 and 14.
The team that paid 6 figures to do a study to see who was the best quarterback in the 2014 draft. And it said Teddy Bridgewater. And then
as it turns out, none of them.
Oh, no. I mean, Teddy's okay. Everybody really likes him. Oh, God.
Oh, this guy has a brother who is the assistant quarterbacks coach for the Panthers.
Oh, actually, I think I do
we
recognize him.
Oh, that's
okay,
right. Derek Carr was that draft. Forgot about that.
Rob Ryan is the Raiders' senior defensive assistant.
What the
Kennedy Polamalu is their running backs coach. And yes, he is related to wait, hang on. Wait, it doesn't
He is
mention
Troy
Troy anywhere on
Polamalu's
here.
uncle.
There it is. Okay. I was going to say, because it said he has 6 children: Casey, Matthew, Trey, Sophia, Andrew, and Xander.
Kennedy Polamalu was born the day of JFK's assassination and was named in his honor.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just like how
Anyway.
Brandon Staley is assassinating the Chargers offense.
Anyway, those Chiefs, whatever.
Jim.
Oh my God, Danny Amendola is a coaching assistant.
Yeah!
He's coaching their returners. Is there anybody else on here that I recognize?
One last note about the Raiders, too, since they're back on them now. Has Josh Jacobs, disappeared?
Yeah, I
Are
don't
they
know.
just not, using him anymore?
Let's ask Matt Corral.
Yeah, no, he's been pretty invisible this year.
After holding out for the
really-
contract, too.
Yeah.
It's because he changed his number.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that's a
The
problem.
Raiders have a running back named Sincere McCormick.
Oh, they also have a guy named Divine Diablo.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, they still have Amir Abdullah. I didn't
Yeah.
know he was still in the league. The Raiders aren't the best team, but they got a hell of a lineup of names.
They do.
They need to get Halapulavati Vaitai or whatever from the Lions.
They're going to bring back Michael Humanawanui.
I
Patriots
forgot about
legend.
Humanamanu. Also, Max Crosby's one of the best names, and it's just because it's cool.
It is.
The
With
extra
two-
X does it.
Yeah, with 2 X's. Yeah. And that was
Where were we going with this?
oh yeah, that was Chiefs Chargers.
When the hell did they get Marcus Peters? What the fuck?
I think they signed
I think
him
it was this
year, yeah.
offseason.
Huh.
They're like, if we build the 2015 Pro Bowl team, we'll win. So that's why we have Devontae Adams and Brian Hoyer.
The Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl in 2015.
Watch out,
Newsflash, it
Here they
didn't
come.
work.
It's like the Penguins building a retirement home team.
Yeah. And the Capitals are in that we could still compete phase. We know Ovi's 60 years old, but it's fine.
And not doing anything anymore.
Yeah, he's just hanging out by the left circle.
It's like a dog that you're trying to give his pills and you have to wrap it in cheese and ham and peanut butter and he still rejects it.
You want him to fetch, you have to throw him the ball. I mean, that's how he plays on power plays. He just hangs out by the left circle and he's like, just give me the puck, man. I'm not going to go get it. You know where I am. I've been doing this for 15 years. Everybody knows where I'm at.
What if a hockey player had dementia and if he forgot where he was wherever he skated? That was Ravens or Raiders, Chargers. What game were we talking about?
Chargers, Chiefs. I've been trying to move it on from that game for 10 minutes.
The Dolphins lost to the Eagles
Yes,
with
they did.
another bad refereeing call. What if envelopes moaned when you licked them?
What if your
I
nipples
can't
clicked in
ask
and out
the
like
what
pens?
if that I asked you. The what if I sent you yesterday. Probably can't say that on the show.
That was funny. That was very funny. Except that was in the middle of class when I got that. I couldn't respond. That's why all I could let out was, why?
Comment below if you want to hear that. Actually, no, I probably won't tell it on Fake Racers because Joe will just bleep it out. Anyway, Dolphins, Eagles. The Eagles are really good. Tua had a bad. I wouldn't say had a bad night. It started out pretty bad, but it was okay.
There's another terrible call.
Which one was that?
Shit. I gotta pull it up. It's like a face mask that wasn't a face mask or something like that.
Oh no, okay, I know exactly. It was right out of halftime, I think, where it was on a third. No, it was on a fourth down, I think.
4th and 3, and there was a no call on a face mask on
Yeah,
James Bradbury.
And fittingly, though, the very next play, the Eagles fumbled it, and the Dolphins scored. So it was a little bit of karmic justice, but in the end, it didn't end up mattering, as the Eagles are really good, as it turns out. This was the first game I felt like this year where the Eagles' offense really looked like themselves, like they did last year, because AJ Brown is a fucking monster. He has more receiving yards this year than the entire Titans receiving core, which is just absurd.
This was his 5th consecutive game with 125 yards or more.
Yeah, good thing they traded him
for
for
something.
What was it? A 2nd-round pick, I think.
That they gave up for him?
Yeah,
I think it was a first. Oh yeah, because
like,
the pick they gave up became Traylon Burks.
I would like to point out they called 10 penalties on the Dolphins and 0 on the Eagles.
It's a real thinker.
To be fair, though, sometimes one team just plays way less.
To be fair, how about I fucking kill you?
I don't think it's. I think it's suspicious that it's 10
With
to nothing,
hammers.
but not necessarily that one team is penalized more than the other. Is what I'm saying.
Right, but 0 calls is not right.
Is AJ Brown related to Antonio? Because they look kind of similar.
I doubt it. But...
The Dolphins have allowed more points this year than the Patriots have? What?
Well, they did allow like 40 to the Bills a couple weeks ago.
Still, I mean, the Patriots give up 30 plus twice, and how?
No, they are not related.
How? I don't know. Yeah,
Antonio Brown is related to Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like first cousins, I think.
Yeah, I'll post it in here. This picture of AJ Brown, he has like the same like brow line as Antonio Brown.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, let's see. They gave up 34 to the Chargers, 20 to the Broncos. We're not gonna ignore that they outscored them by 50. 48 to the Bills, 21 to the Panthers. So they're not a bad defense. They're just like, their offense is definitely their strong point, though. Yeah, this was just the type of game where just everything went wrong for them, like the entire night. Fumbles, interceptions by Tua, drives that couldn't go anywhere.
Because Tua threw a pick, Chase Claypool had more tackles than he did targets.
Oh my god.
He really is just a bad luck charm, huh?
Yeah. Just bad vibes. Watch them fall apart now that they traded for him.
Hey, I wouldn't complain.
That would be really funny.
They play the Patriots this week. I would be totally okay with them falling apart right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of teams that look like they might be falling apart, what's going on with the Niners?
Yeah, we'll skip forward to Monday night. The Vikings won 22-17. This was not a very good Brock Purdy game. I mean, up until the last 2 drives, I would say it was just like a normal game where, the Vikings defense was dominating basically. And then Brock Purdy threw 2 really bad interceptions to end the game. I don't know if I'm hitting the panic button yet, because they played a really fucking good defense last week, and nobody would be talking about the 49ers struggles if Jake Moody just hits a chip shot field goal to win that game. And I believe he missed another field goal. Which, it was a long one. It was like 50 yards, but still, you're indoors, so you got to make that.
I mean, we say that though, but the next 6 games for the Niners are going to be rough.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Tampa, Seattle, Philadelphia, Seattle again.
Ooh.
So
yeah,
it's
especially those 2 games against Seattle now that now they're sitting at 5-2. Like the Seahawks are smelling blood in the water for the division.
yeah, and they got Baltimore
yeah.
later this year too.
Yep. You had a very uncharacteristic Christian McCaffrey fumble. Yeah, I mean, and I felt like Brock Purdy actually did play like pretty well the entire game, but like I was saying, it's just those last 2 drives where it was like, all right, you've almost come back, like put together a touchdown score or touchdown drive here, and then 2 hideous interceptions later, and Kirk Cousins is winning on a Monday night, which is truly cursed. And especially cursed because he had like one of the best games of his career, almost 400 yards, 35 of 45, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Addison had maybe the touchdown of the year where he just robbed the ball out of who was it? I think it was Tre'Davious Ward. Or Charvarius Ward, just straight up ripped the ball out of his hands and scampered like 60 yards for a touchdown. Are the Vikings good again? This
No,
is weird.
no.
Oh,
I mean, they've won
one thing
2.
about Christian McCaffrey, though, really quick, including the playoffs, he's played 21 games for the 49ers, and in those 21 games, he's scored 24 touchdowns.
He scored in like 15 games consecutively now, too.
It's like I think it's like the longest streak ever by any player now. Like, I can't believe the Panthers traded him that easily.
Yeah. I think a big problem with the 49ers, too, is they're missing Debo. Which they finally got some production out of George Kittle again, which is like refreshing. But yeah, they're definitely hurting without Debo right now.
Yeah, and he might be out again this week, so not ideal.
Did we have anything else to say?
I mean, Kirk had a pretty good game besides the one pick he had, and
yeah.
This is weird. Like, the Vikings are sitting now at 3-4, which isn't obviously a very attractive looking record, but the rest of the NFC really hasn't been overly impressive besides like Detroit and the Eagles and the Niners. So like, even though they're 3-4 and started off bad, this is by no means a lost season for the Vikings yet.
Oh yeah, well look at their next 6 games. Packers, Falcons, Saints, Broncos, Bears, Raiders.
And all of those could go either way.
And those are 6.
They could lose all 6 of those or win all 6 of those.
Yeah. And then immediately after that, they have Bengals, Lions. So, like, you got to get as many wins through that stretch as you can because
the
division could be over at that point. So, the Vikings climbed to 3-4 after starting out with, I believe it was 4 straight 1-score losses. They've now won 2 1-score games. So, the Vikings make no sense. And that was week 7.
Yep.
Yeah. Now let's kick it over to the Dews.
Quite a bit of news and shit. We're gonna go to the injuries first. Not usually the way we do it, but we're gonna do it anyway. So we just mentioned Deebo Samuel. He's out at least one more game with a hairline fracture in his shoulder. I'm sure that probably hurts like shit.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz got put on IR. He strained his quad, so he's out for 4 games. And the Cardinals, who are already depleted, are even more depleted than they were before. Deshaun Watson and Jerome Ford have already both been ruled out against the Seahawks, so the Browns are going to be really shorthanded on Sunday. Brock Purdy entered concussion protocol today, so if he's not ready for Sunday, it's going to be Sam Darnold starting for the Niners.
It's
Yeah.
It's looking like Daniel Jones might not play again, so we'll probably get another week of Tyrod Taylor. Darnell Savage got put on IR for the Packers, so their defense, another piece missing. Dawson Knox had wrist surgery. Don't know how long he'll be out for yet, but not ideal for the Bills, who are already struggling for offensive production. And the Seahawks lost Uchenna Nwosu for the season. He tore his pec against the Cardinals. And because he was injured and is out for the season, the Seahawks decided to bring back an old friend. They have signed Frank Clark to a 1-year deal, who was released by the Broncos last week, but he played with the Seahawks from 2015 to 2018. So he's back in Seattle again.
Huh.
The Rams, as you mentioned earlier, they released Brett Maher after another awful game, and they signed Lucas Havrisik off the Colts practice squad. So they have a new kicker for this week. The Titans are slowly becoming the farm team for the Eagles, as they traded Pro Bowl safety Kevin Byard for Terrell Edmonds and a 5th and 6th round pick.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Yeah.
What are we even doing?
What are the Titans?
Oh my god.
Kareem Jackson was suspended for 4 games for unnecessary roughness against the Packers. He appealed his suspension, and it was reduced to 2 games, so he is out this week and next week. He's developing a pretty long history of doing these kind of hits now.
Yeah.
The way Kareem Jackson plays, it's reminding me of 2010 and 2011 when guys like James Harrison and Ryan Clark and Brandon Merriweather were getting fined every fucking week for hitting like that. But I guess they're now deciding, hey, we should suspend these guys instead of fining them, so he's gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, right.
Yeah. 2 wide receivers were arrested for very different things. Chris Olave was arrested on reckless operation of a motor vehicle. He was speeding or something. And Justin Ross of the Chiefs was arrested for domestic battery and criminal property damage of less than $1,000. Don't do that.
God forbid boys have
Not great.
Did you guys see the body cam footage of Olave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm playing for the Saints, and the cop's like, all right.
Yeah, and
yeah. Big fucking whoop. Yep.
So, we'll see how those 2 legal cases pan out. Rumors have surfaced that apparently Bill Belichick had a contract extension signed in the offseason. So it wasn't said how long, but one would assume it's at least through the end of next year.
That's what I heard, yeah, through 2024.
Marvin Jones announced he is stepping away from football to take care of a personal matter. The Lions released him right after, so whatever that is, hopefully it's nothing too serious. So best wishes to him and his family. Ryan Tannehill probably isn't going to play. If he doesn't, the Titans are going to start Will Levis, but also play Malik Willis, apparently. So who the fuck knows what's going on there anymore for anything?
They're going to play the formation I came up with a couple years ago, where you have Lamar Jackson and Robert Griffin III in the backfield, both calling for the snap,
yeah.
and you never know which quarterback's going to get the ball.
I think they had Mark Ingram line up next to him for a couple plays. They had the whole Heisman backfield.
Yeah, the Heisman formation.
Yeah. The
I
Patriots signed Malik Cunningham to a 3-year contract 2 weeks ago, and they decided to waive him yesterday, but he cleared waivers, so he then signed back with the practice squad. And they'd already, they waived him right after the preseason, so it's the 3rd time he's been released in the last month and a half. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that either, but
he's a receiver that converted to quarterback. What?
Other way around.
Other way around? Okay, that's
yeah.
I figured. I was like, that makes more sense.
He succeeded Lamar Jackson at Louisville.
Okay.
He was pretty good in college. I don't know why the Patriots aren't playing him more, but I think there's potential there that isn't being realized. And speaking of Patriots players, Chase Winovich, who played for them for 3 years and then was with the Browns for a year, he announced his retirement yesterday. So, the end of the road for him in the NFL. And Myles Garrett...
I could have swore he was around longer than that.
He was drafted, I think, in 2019.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And Myles Garrett purchased a minority stake in the Cavaliers. So, joining Patrick Mahomes in investing in teams that also play in your city, which kind of cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else we got going on? Oh, and finally, our WTF, or What the Football Moment of the Week. We have essentially developed a hybrid between Spygate and the Astros sign-stealing case, because Michigan, who already just got shit on because Jim Harbaugh bought some kid a cheeseburger, apparently was like sending a staffer around
Not
to
an
all the other
exaggeration, by the
Big
way.
Ten games and was stealing signs from everybody? Or something? Like,
Yeah,
the
I
more that
got a
comes out
kick
about
out
this,
of
the weirder it gets.
the picture of the dude holding the printed out chart of the other team's signs. And it's in like giant old person font so you can read it from a mile away.
Did we see that this guy also created like a 600-page manifesto about what the Wolverines should do? For
I
Yeah,
did
the
see that,
Michigan
yeah.
Manifesto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not the
and-
first time a guy from Michigan has written a manifesto.
Yeah, maybe they should stop doing that.
Uh,
I don't think we
should
should be
al-
doing that anymore.
Should also mention the namesake of the YouTube channel that we're on, a Michigan grad, was talking about. He was like, "This is the thing that's weird." He's like, "If you're cheating," he's like, "I'm almost tempted to not believe this guy's in on it because he's like, if you're cheating, why would you write a manifesto about how you're cheating and plan to publish it?" So it's just extremely weird.
I think what my favorite part is, so the Big Ten, as it's currently constructed, they're going to add teams next year. But as it's constructed right now, there's 14 teams. So
Change the
he
name.
bought tickets for games for 12 other Big Ten teams. I want to know which team he didn't buy tickets to go see. Because that team must suck some real shit for that to be the one that's
Iowa.
like, I don't need to worry about them.
Yeah,
Iowa.
with Iowa, he's like, don't even worry about the offense.
Like, what am I really going to gain here?
Can we take guesses on who it was?
Iowa.
So you're going with Iowa. I said Rutgers earlier.
I'm going to guess Minnesota. I don't think there's much happening up there either. But apparently he bought...
Well, Minnesota beat Iowa.
They did, but nothing's happening in Iowa, so they didn't have to do anything to beat Iowa.
Watch it be like Ohio
There's
State.
so much to do there.
But apparently he, like, bought tickets to see, like, a couple of SEC teams or something, too. Like, this is a whole, like, really weird thing. And I'm really curious to see what the NCAA ends up doing with this, because this really hasn't happened in the NCAA before. And the only precedent they really have to work of for things like this is, again, what the Astros did and Spygate in 2007. So, like, this is weird.
This guy didn't even go to Michigan. He was in the Navy. He turned
the
down
fuck?
Michigan to go to the
He
Navy.
went to the Naval Academy and said, "I'm gonna steal signs for Jim Harbaugh."
He learned a bunch of espionage, and he was like, "Dude, this would hit in football."
Committing
yeah, the
espionage in a way that's not going to get me put in jail for 50 years.
The funniest possible way this could work out is there's been rumors for the last couple of years that Harbaugh is going to go back to the NFL. And watch
Oh
the like
my
NCAA is like, we're investigating this, and he's like, that's cool. I'm gonna go coach the Bears. He just bounces, creates a massive scandal, refuses to elaborate, leaves. College football.
It's so funny.
It is
so
very funny though that he didn't attend any TCU games, and look what happened when Michigan played TCU.
Yeah.
Didn't go all that great, did it?
Yep.
Don't fuck with the Forgs.
Hypnotoad arrives all the same.
Can we put Hypnotoad into the thumbnail tonight?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Let me put a picture of it in here before I forget. I just can't get over that, like, Hypnotoad. Oh god, you search Hypnotoad and the first thing that comes up is the TCU version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget being in that restaurant during the Michigan TCU game and everybody was just losing their shit.
That
yeah,
was
I
really
remember,
funny.
That was amazing.
I was getting pizza with my roommate and my mom and like my nephew and one of our friends, and it was on TV there, and I was just sitting there. I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, Steven and I were in a bar near my house because he was here for the Winter Classic, and so we were just watching it like, holy fuck.
I was watching. I was like, "Oh, Joe's gonna be sad on Monday."
I'm sure,
we
like,
saw a man die.
Yeah, we watched the DeMar Hamlin game like in my house. So that was
Oh shit! Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
no.
like almost everybody that was at the bar, like sitting on the stools, had bet serious money on Michigan, and were fucking watching their pockets empty as that game fucking played out.
I
You know,
forgot the betting.
now that I think about it, I think we were recording Fake Racers when the DeMar Hamlin thing happened, because we like finished recording and then we like turned it on and we were like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
Remember.
yeah. Steven like went to get something, and he came back down, and I was like, "Hey, some dude just like might have died." So, like, it was.
Steve was like, he's like, done.
Resting in peace, bro.
Is he resting in peace, bro?
That would have been
Sorry.
the worst Dunyan Rings entry in the history of ever. So thankfully, we didn't have to do that.
Dude,
This one time, my dad took away my Harley privileges for like 2 weeks, and felt like DeMar Hamlin died too.
Oh my god, dude! I can't get over the game that the Bills had 2 weeks ago when Damian Harris had to get put in the ambulance on the field, and they had like DeMar Hamlin's jersey in the ambulance windows.
I saw somebody tweet that a picture that said, "Nah, the dick riding's crazy."
Oh no!
God.
No!
Dude, the worst part about that is I'm pretty sure that was his first game as being active again, and then they
It was,
just kept,
yeah.
they just
And
kept
that
cutting
happened.
to like him sitting on the bench, and I was like, come on,
Like, did you really have to
why do
do
you gotta
that?
do this?
And that was the
anyway.
news desk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's get on to pick they thems.
Maybe one of us will do good this week. Maybe.
So let's do some season updates so far. So Steven and I are now tied at 61 and 52 on the season. Dewey at 50 and 60.
But I'm
again,
undefeated in locks. Get fucked.
Well, it doesn't count the 2 times you locked or tie. Or no, you locked a tie once. You locking a tie broke the sheet. Oh no, you've locked 2 ties. Okay, so it doesn't count them, but
Good.
you're technically 4 and 2. Yeah.
Nope, doesn't count. I'm 4-0 and 2.
Yeah, 4-0. I don't think we've ever had a tie in a game that was locked. Now that I think about it, I want that to happen.
Yeah, so do I.
God,
it should have happened twice already.
God, I wish Bears Broncos would have been a tie.
Oh.
But we'll start with Thursday night. Bucks at Bills. This feels like a must-win game for both teams.
Yeah.
This is a weird game.
Just for the bit, I'm going to say Buccaneers.
I think this is a game that the Bills get back on track. You're at home. It is a short week, but like you're pissed off. You're playing a Bucks team that they don't have a ton of offensive firepower. They're solid. They have a solid defense. Just go do your thing. So, but if you're the Bucks, like if you win this game, all of a sudden it's like, all right, those last couple losses aren't great, but you're kind of back into it. So
I think the Bills are going to win. I'm just not sure if it's going to be by 3 or by 25.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're either going to eke it out barely like they did against the Giants, or they're going to drop 70 on them.
We need another 70. They got to do that again.
Baker's going to fucking die.
I am blessed that in my timeline I was able to see a 70-point NFL game.
Yeah. Either way, looking forward to this game. Jets at Giants.
Jets.
Oh my god.
Jets aren't as bad as everybody says they are.
Yeah,
no, they're not. But
their defense is so fucking good against this fucking Giants offense.
Yeah.
The Giants defense looks like they're turning it around too. This might be a defensive slugfest.
Yeah.
Like this could easily be like a 10-3 kind of game.
Yeah, the only thing that leads me doubting the Giants defense is it was against a Bills team that refused to run the ball, and then as soon as they started running the ball, they could not be stopped. And the commies, who Sam Howell is just like actively looking for who's going to sack him next.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jets, but I'm gonna actively root for a tie here.
Is this our first jet sweep in Oofsides history?
A jet
It
sweep?
has to be.
It is a jet sweep. Steelers going to the Super Bowl.
Shut the fuck up.
Starting
Extend
to get
Adam
more
Gase. The
flashbacks.
Jets love Adam Gase.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
It's like that scene from the I Did a Thing video where he's making the flamethrower and he's got the propane heater shield on his head and he's giving the dude Vietnam flashbacks. Oh my god. Speaking of Steelers, Jaguars at Steelers.
Steelers.
Oh my
Here's
god.
the thing. The Jags are hot, but I mean the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl.
Steelers going to Super Bowl.
I'm gonna take the Jaguars though.
I'm
I
gonna
know
pick
I'm gonna
the
be
Jags,
wrong.
but this is the exact kind of game we're gonna look like morons a week from now, and Steven's gonna be all giddy because the Steelers did it again.
I'm looking at my picks and I'm like, oh, I'm starting 0-3. I know I'm starting 0-3. Like, there's no.
Good thing that
This
you
is
do,
how
that
it's
means
going.
I do too.
My last 3 weeks, I've gone 5-10, 7-9, and 3-11. Like, up until this, I was batting almost 700 lifetime on pick'ems up until this last month.
You should see me trying to pick the college games. It's been rough out here.
Ooh.
It's been rough for all of us.
It has.
Eagles, commies.
Eagles.
Again, I'm
The
picking the
commies
Eagles.
always have this
but-
weird energy where they do this shit every year, and I really want to pick them, but they just look so lost.
Didn't they play the Eagles really close already this year?
Close? No. Relatively close? Yeah?
Yeah, no, they lost in overtime to the Eagles a few weeks ago. 34.
That's
31.
right.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
it was overtime. I thought it.
The commies suck except for when they play the Eagles.
You know what?
And
Fuck
I mean,
it.
they were the ones who ended their undefeated season last year.
Our team shall
Oh,
get back on track. Reverse its misfortunes over the last month of terrible gridiron football play. And they're going to take down Jalen Hurts and the Mighty Birds from Philadelphia, the Eagles. 24-20. Our team is so fucking bad. We're gonna be back and better than fucking ever, baby. Riverboat Ron is gonna lead him to the promised land. Give me the fucking commandos.
Oh.
I couldn't even hear you.
Oh.
Oh, I can't wait to see that in Audacity.
It's just gonna be a solid block. I'm telling you.
If the Eagles win like 45-3, I'm gonna be really fucking mad.
It's gonna be in there. It's gonna look like.
It's gonna look like when you did that when we were all singing for the outro a couple weeks ago. I had to turn your track down individually because it just fucking ruined the audio of the entire show. Anyway, Rams at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I don't think Sean McVay's ever lost to the Cowboys.
Yeah, give it a couple days.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams. Rams get right game.
Yeah, give me the Rams. Cowboys
Actually,
are frauds.
This is the ultimate litmus test because the Cowboys don't beat good teams. Oh wait, no, but they do lose to really shitty teams as well. Okay, if
They're
the
just
Cowboys
fucked
win,
regardless.
if the Cowboys win, the Rams are mediocre. If the Rams win, they either suck or they're really good. So
Hmm.
either way, I'm taking the Rams. Steven, what was your pick? I forgot.
Rams.
Okay. Can't wait in a week to maybe be like, why did I pick the Rams? Vikings at Packers.
There are not. Before I say my pick, there are not a lot of lockable games here at all.
No.
There's a whole lot of mid on here.
Yeah.
This is tough because it's in Lambeau.
Well, the last
me the
time I picked the
Vikings.
Packers in a divisional game because they were at Lambeau, it didn't go so well. So I'm picking the Vikings this time.
Um,
Lambeau doesn't
I'm a-
really matter.
I'm gonna pick a Packers get right game. I think they're gonna pull it off. It's at home. It's the Vikings. I'm gonna win. Falcons at Titans.
Ew.
Steven, your favorite matchup of the year.
This
Please
might
don't
be
make
like
me
one of
pick
the
the
worst
Titans
games of the
games.
year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Desmond Ritter against Will Levis and Malik Willis. Like,
Oh,
Falcons.
Arthur Smith revenge game.
Oh,
yeah,
my
it
God.
is.
I have a lock in mind, but I almost want to use my lock on this.
Jonnu Smith revenge game too, by the way.
Do not lock the Titans.
I'm
Or
not.
the
No.
Falcons.
No. Hell no.
Don't lock either of them.
Give me the Falcons, of course.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Oh God.
I'm gonna pick a tie.
Okay. Well, in that case, I got to take the Titans then. So
Well, hey, you know what? Even if the Titans win, I can still get it right because you can't say Titans without tie.
oh, true. Yeah, it's like how I shorten team names wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Ties. Speaking of doing that, Triots versus Dolphs.
Give me the Dolphs.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Dolphs as well.
See, again, I will forever faithfully pick the Patriots, but I'm almost sitting here like they're probably going to have quite a bit of momentum here after the way they just beat the Bills, and the Dolphins didn't look all that great against the Eagles and might not have Tyreek Hill for this game.
True, they do have
The
Chase
Patriots
Claypool.
win looks way more realistic than people may think, even though they've
Honestly,
struggled in Miami.
You have a really good chance of winning if you just don't pick the team that has Chase Claypool.
Yes. So that alone.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're right. Give me the Patriots.
I'm sticking with the Dolphins.
I didn't even think about that.
If Chase Claypool ever ends up on the Patriots, I'm ending it. Just putting that out there now.
Saints at Colts.
Ugh.
This is a competition of teams that don't want to win.
Colts. Anytime I think of the Saints and Colts, though, my mind always goes back to that 62-7 game from 2011.
Oh God. I'm gonna take. See, I'm ready to stop having faith in the Saints, but as soon as I do, they're gonna win.
They're just way too inconsistent.
They've won 3 games, but I can't think of which games they won.
Well, I can tell you one of them.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna take. I'll take the Colts.
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim. Steven, who you got?
Hang on. I got a text. Saints.
Got text. Texans at Panthers.
Locking the Texans.
Oh, okay.
I'm also picking the Texans, but actually, number 1 overall pick versus number 2 overall pick in this game.
Yeah.
Should be a good one.
Also be taking the Texans.
We just picked the Jets and the Texans in the same week.
Well, think about how bad their opponents are.
Well, I mean, yeah.
When was the last time there was a Texans lock?
Ever?
I'm gonna have
Has
to.
there ever been a Texans lock?
I'm gonna have to put that on Oofsides after this.
I mean,
if anybody's ever locked the Texans in Oofsides history.
We've had Davis Mills the last 2 years and David Culley and Lovie Smith as the coach. I don't think there's ever been any scenario that's been approached where you could have sat down and said, yeah, I think the Texans are that capable of winning a game.
Maybe somebody in early 2020 when we still thought they were good, but that's
when they still had Watson, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they played the Urban Meyer Jaguars.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna put out some pick they them stats on the Oofsides page. So that's what I'm calling it from now on. By the time this episode comes up, we'll have that. So Browns at Seahawks.
This would be way more interesting if Groper Cleveland was playing. But they're going to be down him and Jerome Ford, so I'm picking the Seahawks.
I'm taking
Give me the
Seahawks.
Browns.
as well. Okay. They also
He
have to play
sounded
the
so
refs.
disappointed.
They have to play the refs as well, so that's gonna
Yeah,
be tough.
that's what I'm thinking. Is the refs are gonna let the Browns win this game?
Yeah. But I will be sticking with the Seahawks. Oh baby, 49ers, Bengals.
This
The
game
Bengals-
seems
Hmm.
it's evenly matched, but it's worse than it was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Well, the Bengals have been sluggish all year, and the Niners are probably going to have to start Sam Darnold, so,
Oh my god.
like,
Niners, Sam Darnold is Jesus incarnate.
Is inevitable.
rematch
Yeah.
the 1981 Super Bowl, too.
And the 1988 Super Bowl.
Yeah. Good old Bongles. I'm really torn on this one.
This could go any
I'll
direction.
Yeah.
Take the no, I don't have any. I'll take the 49ers. I don't have any faith in the Bengals. Well, I wouldn't say have any faith in the Bengals, but again, I know my luck. I'll be like, oh, the Bengals have been playing well, and then they'll go back to what they were doing earlier in the year.
I'm going to pick the Bengals, but this might be like the least confident I have in or least confidence I have in a pick all week. Like,
Yeah, this one's
I
tough.
really don't know about this one.
Yeah. Chiefs at Broncos.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and state the obvious here and lock the Chiefs, because,
Yeah,
I
figured
mean,
you were gonna do that.
The chefs.
the
Alright, well, I know-
the Chefs have beaten the Broncos 16 consecutive times, and the Broncos haven't really done anything to tell me that it's not going to be 17. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume it'll be 17. I'm going to lock
I mean,
it.
They already lost to the Chiefs like 2 weeks ago as well, so
Yeah.
I like that the NFL was like, let's just get these 2 games out of the way. Let's put them early in the year, whatever.
There's been quite a few where they like scheduled 2 division games like that in like a 3-week period.
Yeah.
Has there ever been one where they scheduled the opponents back to back?
So in 2020, the Jets had in the middle of their season playing or at the Dolphins bye week and then hosting the Dolphins, but then one of those games got moved around because of COVID, so they ended up not being back to back. Yeah.
I think that happened with the Patriots one year, but I can't remember who it was or when.
It's also been times where like 2 teams will play in week 17 and then also play in the wild card round. So
Oh yeah, I know those. It basically happened to the Steelers and Patriots with the Jesse James game.
yeah.
Yeah, that
It
was really
happened-
close to the end of the year.
Bills Oilers, the famous 35-3 game. They played week 17 and the Oilers knocked Jim Kelly out of the lineup and then opened up and then rematched against him and then blew a 35-3 lead. So yeah.
Oh, Oilers.
Ravens at Cardinals.
Ravens.
I will be locking the Baltimore Ravens.
I was about to say, this is really the only other lockable game of the week.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Chiefs, the Chiefs and Ravens games back to back, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a lock. We're good.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens too, but
yeah,
I think the Cardinals could make it close, but I can't see them winning it.
yeah. I especially considering the ass whipping they laid on the Lions last week. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
Have
the
fun.
Joe Menum.
yeah, Sunday night football. What a game! Oh, you guys like offense because this game is going to be offensive to watch. It's Bears at Chargers.
Khalil Mack revenge game.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, this is gonna suck.
I'm gonna try and manifest getting Brandon Staley fired, so I'm gonna pick the Chargers. Because God knows I can't pick them right.
We
So-
could potentially have a Tyson Badgett primetime start here.
Oh, baby.
The entire country is gonna know about the kid from Shepherd College.
Love me some secret Bajent. Give me the Bears.
Think of
Honestly,
The
I'm picking the
graphics.
Bears too. Fuck it, dude.
you know how they have like the illustrated graphics where they like Photoshop players' heads onto things. Think of all the arm wrestling ones they're gonna have for Tyson Badgett. Dude, you said to the Bears as well, right?
Yeah, I can't believe
Okay.
I just did that, but I did it.
So yeah, if I lose this pick, it's for the greater good because I'm getting Brandon Staley fired. It's gonna happen. Although knowing
can
my
only
reverse jinxing abilities, I just secured him an extension. And I'm pretty sure the Bears cost me 2 locks in a row, and then they fucked me this week as well too, I think. Because who do they play? They played the Raiders. Yeah, and I picked the Raiders. Yeah, so this is 3 weeks in a row the Bears have fucked me. So, and then finally Monday night, Raiders at Lions. God damn it, we have to watch the Raiders again.
Who the fuck scheduled the Raiders for 2 Monday games in a 4-week period? Why? We did not ask for this.
The Detroit Lions.
But the Lions being on Monday is cool.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna pick the Lions.
Love some primetime Lions.
Why do we have to watch the Raiders in primetime for the umpteenth time this year?
Yeah. Steven, you got... I swear to God, if you pick the Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, and then finally,
Give me the Bears.
Our sicko college pick of the week is going to be 1-7 UMass at 2-6 Army.
I was hoping it was the cum game. It's not.
Give me that Arnold.
Well, I'm probably going to be there, so.
Locking Arnold.
Arnold.
I'm gonna take the fans. That's who's gonna win.
Boring.
Unfortunately, you can't tie in college because I'd pick a tie if you could tie.
That's some bullshit.
But
that's why the NFL's better.
I'm gonna go with the Black Knights of Army in this one.
All right.
Good old ass.
All right, cool.
Ass.
Do we have any? Wait, I just thought about this for a second. When we did Dungeon Rings, didn't we put the Vikings on there? We did. And now they're right back in the division.
It's all our fault.
God damn it.
So who should we reverse jinx to help get them back in the division?
The Packers.
For reference, last week we sporked, or was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, we sporked my relationship with the Chargers, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, look what happened with them. So
it's not even the right sport. We got it wrong.
Well, not only that.
Touchdown Tom again. Dustin Penner and his pancakes. The Minnesota Vikings and Sam Houston State.
Sam Houston State was a good one. They lost tonight. And now they're 0-8.
That guy got I forgot to mention there was a guy that got ejected from that game from wearing a giant costume shaped like a dick.
That rocks.
That rules.
Who else is Dunyan Rings?
What else is Dunyan Rings?
Tom Brady again.
For a third time. Yeah, he's definitely Dunyan Rings. Is there any actual teams that we could spork?
I feel like this is make or break for a lot of them.
Yeah.
If the Chargers lose, I think we could put them on there next week.
The Chargers, the Commies, I feel like the Saints. But actually, then again, because everybody in the NFC South could lose, and they're still right in it. Yeah, I don't know if there's any teams that we actually can't do. Have we already sporked the Raiders?
Did we do the Titans?
Oh, I don't know if we did.
We have not.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Titans.
It sure seems like they're in sell mode though, since they traded Kevin Byard. So
yeah, I'm sporking them.
I think we can put the Panthers on there again because even though they had a bye week this week, for some reason it just feels like they lost. Like they were just sitting at home on the couch, and yet it's like, just doing nothing.
I'm gonna suggest Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah. Pretty comfortable in saying Dick Butkus is done.
No,
Aww.
I think he can still come back.
Here's how Dick Butkus can still come back.
We could put the Astros and Dusty Baker on there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they are Dunyan Rings.
And the Phillies.
Yeah.
I'm not giving him the full name. It's just the Phillies. That's all they get. Oh, the Penn Central Railroad. I don't think they're coming back.
Oh,
either.
yeah.
We could put Standard Oil on here.
The East India Company.
I think the Hudson Bay Company's done as well.
Yeah.
It's not going great over there.
No. TWA.
Oh yeah, TWA is done. Yeah. Oh, Pan Am. I'm sporking Pan Am.
I'm gonna lock Pan Am actually for Dunyan Rings.
Lockerbie,
This segment makes no sense anymore. God damn it. And also the Raiders. I think the Raiders are done.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, we'll hold off on them.
They should be, but they aren't.
They're second in the division, though.
Exactly.
We can't spork them before the Chargers.
See, that's the thing about the NFL that makes no sense. Like we said earlier, the Bengals are 3-3 are in last place, and the Raiders are 3-4 and they're second. The fuck are we? What are we doing, man? Just
I love
to see
football.
it. Yeah.
I feel like we need to spork one more thing.
We do.
how about sporks?
Sporks be hitting.
I like sporks.
Let me look. Hang on. How about the 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 New Haven, New York, and Hartford Railroad?
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, Yellow Freight is Dunyan Rings.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
That was unfortunate.
All right. I think that's. We have slightly lost the.
That's fine.
the plot of this bit, but yeah.
One more thing. I'm going to the dermatologist tomorrow morning, so hopefully my eczema will be Dunyan Rings.
I don't know, man. I think they're gonna have a
Fuck
big
you!
week
Kill
this week.
yourself.
And on that note.
Wait, why is there another tab in here that has fucking...
Oh, that's when I was like actually trying to keep track of things.
That's right.
Last year.
I remember that. That. Why aren't there any CFL teams on here?
Oh, that's true.
The season is winding down.
Aren't the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the playoffs at 6-11?
Yes,
Nope.
they are.
Wait, aren't
No, they got knocked out.
Oh, did they lose the first round?
No, they didn't make it.
I thought they did.
No, not the Roughriders.
Well, who was it who
Somebody
made
made the playoffs at 6-11.
Hang on. I'm looking this up now.
It was the Calgary Stampeders made it in at 6-11, and they
that's
knocked
who
out
it
the
was,
Rough
yeah.
Riders, who were
Okay.
6-11.
Oh my god.
Why
Wait
did
a second.
Wait, half the league only played 17, half of them played 18, so the Rough Riders, by playing one additional game, got knocked out.
Okay, I'm gonna screenshot this because this headline caught my eye on the CFL's website, and I want you guys to tell me if anything sticks out about it to you. An old friend of the show.
No.
Oh, yeah, Chad Kelly's a multi-time Grey Cup champion.
What?
Yeah, he's already
What the
won one
fuck?
or two, I think.
Oh my god. I noticed it by his fucking crooked ass eyebrow. But yeah, Chad Kelly is the Argonauts quarterback. Huh, how about that?
Oh yeah, he won the Grey Cup last year with the Argonauts.
Oh my god.
Who They went 15-2 this year.
Good lord.
Yeah, so they got a pretty good chance to repeat. However, I do think we could put the Ottawa Red Blacks on the Dunyan Rings.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, they were not that good this year.
Can we put Chad Kelly's mugshot in the thumbnail this week?
Oh, yeah, by the way, when you're typing... Oh, God, I accidentally just posted the picture of him in the fucking spreadsheet.
You should have kept it there.
Put it back. Put it back.
No, it's still there. I'm just moving it out of the way.
Oh my god! Hang on. I got this.
Oh God, why did you make that one so bit?
Just wait.
No,
Just wait.
nobody can see what's happening.
I don't care.
Element of surprise.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's surprised.
Okay. All right. Just leave it. All right, we need to end the show before this gets out of hand. Do I have any?
Hold on. Oh, wait. What did you do? What?
Dewey, what did you do? Dewey just pasted Chad Kelly's mugshot about 18 times in the spreadsheet. Oh my God. We need to get out of here. This has been Oofsides on JTN2. Go watch Fake Racers. I wasn't on this week's episode because I was busy, but I'm sure Davey and Joe had a lot of great stuff that you want to listen to. Also, by the time you're hearing this, we probably have a Blue Sky page because Twitter sucks, and so you can go follow us there. I'll put a link in the description. And on that note, this is like the only music that I have on here, so we'll see you next time.